Title: The Whispering Woods. Deep within the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, nestled between ancient trees and shadowy valleys, lay the Whispering Woods. Legend had it that those who dared to enter its depths would be swallowed by darkness, never to return. But for Claire, a young journalist eager to uncover the truth behind the myths, the allure of the woods was irresistible. Claire had always been fascinated by the supernatural, drawn to stories of ghosts and monsters that lurked in the shadows. When she heard whispers of the Whispering Woods, she knew she had to investigate. Armed with her camera and notepad, Claire set out on a journey that would test her courage in ways she could never have imagined. As she ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew thick with an unnatural stillness. The trees seemed to lean in closer, their twisted branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Claire shivered, her breath misting in the chilly air. She pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. But the woods were not as empty as they seemed. Strange noises echoed through the trees, whispers that seemed to come from all around her. Claire's heart raced as she tried to shake off the feeling of being watched. She quickened her pace, desperate to escape the oppressive silence. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows ahead. Claire froze, her blood running cold. It was a woman, her face obscured by a tangle of dark hair. She beckoned to Claire with a gnarled finger, her voice a low, guttural whisper. "Come," she said, her voice echoing in Claire's mind. "Come with me." Despite the fear clawing at her insides, Claire felt drawn to the woman. She took a hesitant step forward, her curiosity overpowering her sense of self-preservation. But as she drew closer, she saw something in the woman's eyes that made her blood run cold. They were empty, devoid of any humanity. Claire stumbled back, her heart pounding in her chest. She turned to flee, but the woods had other plans. Branches snaked out from the trees, wrapping around Claire's limbs with a vice-like grip. She screamed as she was dragged deeper into the darkness, the whispers growing louder with each passing moment. Hours seemed to pass as Claire struggled against her captors, her cries drowned out by the cacophony of voices. Just when she thought she couldn't take it any longer, the trees released her, dumping her unceremoniously onto the forest floor. Bruised and battered, Claire staggered to her feet, her mind reeling from the ordeal. She stumbled through the woods, desperate to escape the nightmare that surrounded her. But no matter which way she turned, the trees seemed to shift and change, leading her further into the heart of darkness. Just when she thought all hope was lost, Claire stumbled upon a clearing in the woods. In the center stood a dilapidated cabin, its windows shattered and door hanging off its hinges. Claire hesitated, her instincts screaming at her to turn back. But something compelled her to enter, to confront the horrors that lay within. As she stepped over the threshold, Claire was greeted by the stench of decay. The air was thick with dust and cobwebs, the only sound the creaking of floorboards beneath her feet. She moved cautiously through the cabin, her heart pounding in her chest. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the darkness, sending shivers down Claire's spine. "Welcome, Claire," it said, its tone dripping with malice. "We've been expecting you." Claire spun around, her eyes searching the shadows for the source of the voice. But there was no one there, only the oppressive darkness that seemed to press in on her from all sides. "Who are you?" Claire demanded, her voice trembling with fear. "We are the guardians of the woods," the voice replied. "We have watched you, Claire. We know why you have come." Claire felt a chill run down her spine. How could they know? She had told no one of her plans to visit the Whispering Woods. had confided in no one but herself. "We know everything, Claire," the voice continued, "and now you belong to us." With a cry of terror, Claire turned to flee, but as she reached for the door, she felt a cold hand close around her wrist, pulling her back into the darkness. And then, all was silent. The next morning, a search party ventured into the Whispering Woods in search of Claire. But despite their best efforts, she was never found. Some say she was swallowed by the darkness that lurked within the woods, while others believe she met a far more sinister fate. But one thing is for certain: the Whispering Woods hold secrets that are best left undisturbed, for those who dare to enter its depths may never return.